Taking things slowly today will mean that when you do that in the future, you will be proud also of what has happened to Quail Creek. Thanks.
Thank you. Is Alexander Stringer here? What about Bill Bunch? Why don't you come on down to this podium? Mr. Khan.
Testifying McCallick Place. Adam Kahn testifying on the McCallick Place proposal. I will confess, I was honestly madder than a hornet's nest about this proposal this morning and was originally planning to come down here and say that, but Mayor Adler, in the difference a few hours can make, I will tell you, you have already made my day once today, and I think you know why. But moving back to the soccer stadium, at this point, I just think that there are a lot of moving pieces, a lot of plates in the air, a lot of things going on that we really just do not know the outcome to. We don't have answers for, and I am not confident that we can successfully resolve the outstanding questions in the next week. So as far as anything goes regarding today and the next Thursday's council meeting, I would certainly not be in favor of moving forward on the McCallum Pace proposal. That being said, what I really think we ought to do, or before I get to that, one other thing that surprised me as I was researching this earlier today is that I did not realize the University of Texas has actually said that they are not willing to host a soccer team in 2019. That was new to me today. I didn't know that earlier, but I think that throws a big monkey wrench into our ability to successfully host a team in 6 months. There's not going to be a facility ready in 6 months. And so that is why one thing I think we should do is I think as soon as possible, we should make everybody in Columbus, Ohio's day. And I think we should at least say, we're not going to take a team for 2019. It's too soon. There's too many unresolved issues. 2020, 2021, who knows? Maybe it makes sense on that frame, but I really think that we're pressing up against deadline for 2019 without a facility for them, and I don't think that is wise. Finally, the one thing I want to comment on what my big macro concern is on all of this, where I would need to see a significant answer is, 6 weeks ago when I testified about this, I mentioned the business model of Major League Soccer. And my biggest macro concern is just that I fear we are making a 20 to 40 to 80 year commitment with a league that might not be around in 10 years. Right now, Houston had a debacle with the Astrodome for like 20 years before they finally imploded it. San Antonio still has the Alamo Dome basically sitting empty. The Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan, where the Detroit Lions used to play, that sat around empty and was an eyesore for 15 years. Until we can successfully resolve the business model question, I'm generally apprehensive, and I think we should call off 2019.
Thank you. Is Chivas Watson here? What about Colin Brandenburg? Colin Brandenburg here? Is there anyone else that's signed up to speak that's here?
Mayor?
Mr. Bunch? I'm sorry.
I heard from Barbara Rush. She said she was on her way.
Okay.
And then I had a question to follow up on Mr. Khan. I wanted to ask our staff because the piece about the University of Texas, I understand that is a significant piece of this puzzle with regard to where the team might play if they come and play in Austin next year. I think we need to get some certainty around that issue. And so if we could get...
Mr. Khan, no.
So thank you, Mr. Khan. I'm going to ask our city staff to chase that really important detail down. I appreciate you raising it because we actually haven't heard, at least I haven't, directly from the University of Texas as to what role they may or may not be playing in this larger picture. Thanks.
That's good. Thank you. Mr. Bunch.
Yes. Good afternoon. Bill Bunch. I live in District 5, longtime resident and community activist. Urging you to please reject this boondoggle. If you go forward, I think it will live in infamy as one of the biggest mistakes and boondoggles that this community has ever engaged in the same list as water treatment plant number 4, the tree